Gamecast from MSN.
Hi and welcome back to MSN Tech and Gadgets Gamecast. You're joining me, Jane Douglas, one of your Tech and Gadgets editors, along with Iain Lee, your host.
Yes.
And Nick Taylor, of course.
Hello.
Take it away, Iain.
We're in.
Please.
Okay, and we're off.
In.
Well, we'll start as we always start with what have we been playing this month. Can I go first, please? Because I never do.
Go for it.
Nice one. I've not been playing much, is the answer to that, because I've been really busy. But on the moments when I have been able to play, I have been playing Red Faction. Was it Guerrilla Tactics?
Just Guerrilla, I think.
Guerrilla.
It is Red Faction Guerrilla, yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
All right, this is the one where you're on Mars and you go around, you're a demolition expert, and you go around blowing stuff up. And I'm enjoying it. And of course, what's not to enjoy about blowing up buildings and lobbing grenades and stuff? But am I missing what... I've had so many people tell me, it's brilliant. And I don't know if it is brilliant. It's sort of it's good. I feel I'm missing something.
Did you play the Wrecking Crew mode? Because that's the only mode I've played.
That's multiplayer, isn't it?
Yes.
I did go and have a couple of multiplayer games, and it just felt... it was just running around shooting each other, and I've played better versions.
Okay. I played the Wrecking Crew mode, which is like you each have, I don't know, a couple of minutes to do as much damage to a particular stage as possible. And so you get a couple of weapons, and it's quite fun. It's like Jenga in reverse.
So you mentioned that, and that's what when I loaded it up, I went to look for that.
What's the destructive element like? Because they made a big deal about how you could blow up anything in the entire landscape. Does that work really well?
Well, you can. And they also made a big deal about the physics being incredibly accurate. I don't think they are. I think if you have a gas canister and you put a bomb on it by a building and blow it up, it's not going to leave like a weird sort of jagged hole in it. I don't think. That would blow that building up, I'm pretty sure, from my limited demolition expertise. It's good fun. But then I've just done a bit where I'm driving around being chased, I've got to knock these posts down. That's not true physics. And did I just say the sentence, that's not true physics? Wow. I've just crossed into Uber Geek. That's, I've crossed that line. It feels like lots of different games that I've all played better somewhere else before. That's my opinion of it. But I'm enjoying it. And also, very quickly, because I read a review of it in Edge magazine, and that gave it such a stunning review, Battlefield 1943 on the Xbox Live download. Now, when it works... It's brilliant. It took me 20 minutes to get into a game. Can't find the game. But when it works, it's great. Kind of like Medal of Honor multiplayer. You just run around an island, capturing the flag, shooting bad guys, or the good guys if you're the bad guys. I think it was quite good fun.
It's a bargain, right? £10?
Yes, it's nothing. You would pay double that to have it, properly on a disc. The only downside is, two downsides, that it was really hard to get into a game, and you can't talk... Maybe you can talk to your teammates. Maybe they were just ignoring me.
They just muted.
That's a distinct possibility. I don't think you can talk to your teammates on it.
Is it multiplayer only?
It's multiplayer only, and it's just you just running around, driving tanks, shooting airplanes down, blowing things up. It's kind of what you want, and it's I've been enjoying that a lot. Jane, what have you been playing this month?
I was playing Call of Juarez Bound in Blood, which is Ubisoft's kind of Wild West.
I nearly bought this
first-person
today. I'm keen to know what you think of it. It
doesn't start out as good a game as it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I got a really poor impression of it from the first, half an hour to an hour, and I came away going, because I was going to review it, and I was like, I'm going to give it a terrible review. It does get better, actually. It starts off, you're in the trenches, like Civil War, Georgia, I think it is.
But just because this is like Cowboys, isn't it?
It's Cowboys.
We were talking about
Cowboys
a few months ago, and I'm keen to have a cowboy game. Okay.
Well, I think that's what really makes it, is that it's a really decent Western game, and there aren't a lot of Western games, right? So it hasn't got a lot of competition, and the scenery looks really stunning, and you've got really kind of old-fashioned, authentic-looking weapons. And
with Cowboys.
Well, no, because it's not really open world.
Okay,
it's pretty linear, in
right.
fact. But there's some nice action set pieces. There's this one bit where you're on a carriage and you're making a getaway from a town, and then your exit is blocked. And so the guy's like, I know what we're going to do. And he drives it through some buildings, like horses through some buildings, which makes perfect sense, of course. But it's a really nice set piece. And I think you'll have fun with it.
Okay.
It's not spectacular, but it's
maybe
a
I should
solid
wait till it's
shooter.
been reduced in
Yeah,
price.
maybe do that. You don't need to play it right away.
I was very smug today. I traded in some games, and I've now got £50 credit on my little card. So I'm waiting for something.
There's not much out really. No.
We'll talk about what I've got my eye on in a minute. Nick, what were you playing?
I've been having a bit of a go at Fuel, the open world driving game. Codemaster's effort.
I don't think I've heard of this.
No? Well, I was very much taken with it from what was said before it came out. Oh, it's completely open world.
Yeah.
This enormous driving map that's about the size of Jersey or something bigger than that. And
do you mean Jersey in America or the island of Jersey?
I mean...
Where Bergerac hangs out.
it's probably a bit more like New Jersey.
Okay,
I'd say, yeah.
Cool.
I haven't noticed Bergerac around, but it's
when are they going to bring out a Bergerac game? Come on, that's what we were waiting for.
That could improve this game actually, because it's kind of patchy. If Bergerac came in, I think yeah.
So what do you do? You just what was that Test Drive Unlimited? It sounds like that.
Yeah, it's that kind of concept. You've got a big open world. Burnout Paradise, that kind of concept. You drive around and you can find challenges to do everywhere around this huge landscape that you can take on. But the thing is, you don't have to do that. You can just pick your next challenge off of the main menu. It kind of negates the whole point of driving around finding challenges, because it's a lot easier just to go to the main menu and go, actually, I'll just do this one instead. Which is a bit of a shame, really, because that was the key thing that made me excited about this game. Yeah. And why I wanted to play it.
We go, well, I can't be bothered to drive, I will just have a little click, or I'll go and do this.
Yeah.
That sounds nonsense.
Well, exactly, yeah. Because what I really want from a driving game is one where you're having a race around this huge open world, and then you can just bundle out of a car and grab another one, like Grand Theft Auto mixed with a racing game. And just really make that properly happen. And I think Burnout Paradise is the best racing game to have done that kind of model so far. Fuel is very nice. It looks very pretty as well, and it is still good fun to play, but
a little bit disappointing.
I think it's like what you were saying with Red Faction is that other games have done the various elements of it better. Fun for a bit.
Okay, listen, I need to ask you guys this, because I don't know anything about this, and I've not read many reviews or previews or anything. I'm saving my the £50 on my card for August. I think August the 28th. What game is it? Batman Arkham Asylum.
Oh, right, of course.
Is it going to be brilliant? The advert made it look brilliant. But I think that sometimes adverts just put the best pictures from the game and say nice things about it.
I don't know. I think it's promising, because it's not a movie tie-in game. It's based on the comics. It looks kind of dark and gritty, well, I suppose like they all are now. But it's like an open world stealth game. It's set on Arkham Island, Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I like
of the comics. And who are the bad guys? They've got all of them, haven't they? Poison Ivy.
Well, that's
Harley
the beauty
Quinn.
of it, because it's in this asylum. You've just got every bad guy that Batman's ever taken down. They've all been locked up in this asylum, and they all escape. So pretty much, any Batman bad guy you can think of.
And the videos, I mean, I saw it at E3, but I didn't play it. So, and it looks kind of, the stealth stuff looks kind of Metal Gear Solid-y.
Yeah,
and,
but with the Batman.
And grappling hooks and
we
stuff.
have a preview being lined up that we're going to go along to, so we'll know a lot more about it in about a week.
Oh, okay, very exciting. All right, so the next podcast we do, you will have had hands-on experience.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, exciting. Speaking of hands-on experience, and again, let's just quickly go off on a tangent before we talk about all the things we plan to talk about. Fingers crossed, tomorrow, touch wood, if the wind's blowing in the right direction, you're going to let me come with you to play the Beatles
That's
game.
right.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I hope I can get down there, but because that's coming out in September, I think September the 9th or something.
Yeah, that's
they're having a big time releasing all their albums and stuff, but we're actually going to be able to play Ticket to Ride and stuff.
Yeah, take on the whole Beatles rock band experience.
I've
never seen Ian quite as excited.
I can't even speak. I'm quite moved by it. I can only be disappointed by the end result, I'm sure. So you're pulling a face there, Jen, as though you're not keen on it.
No, I really hope you're not disappointed. It might kill games for you or something.
What could be more fun than sitting at home playing drums, pretending to be Ringo Starr?
It's kind of what music games were made for,
That's what I do anyway, but I'm going to get points for it now. This is awesome.
And have a proper Beatles drum kit.
Have a Beatles drum kit. I'm going to have a Hoff and a bass. It's wonderful. Anyway, right, sorry, that's me off on my own personal fancies. Right. Now, I was reading on the internet, rumours, this is a rumour, and you guys work in fact, you're fact-based, so maybe you can tell this, that there's going to be a Tomb Raider prequel that Toby Gard, the Tomb Raider originator, and very, very nice chap, I don't know if you've ever met him, he's a lovely gentleman, but apparently he's working on it, and it's going to be a sandbox open...
I've been looking into it, and I think, put out a cease and desist kind of order on the people who had it up first. And so these people were saying that it was going to be like an open world survival horror, which sounds fabulous.
That would be wonderful.
We're just being speculative, but if it was, then that would be cool. And I think the Toby Gard rumour came into it because he's working on some unannounced project, which, could be that. So, but I think the only thing that they really had to go on was some concept art. And a little
Has Toby Gard done anything since Tomb Raider? 'Cause he did the first one. He didn't do any after that.
He left with the second one, right?
Right, and
they did bring him back in. He's been in as an advisor, and I think he did some design work on Anniversary as well.
Because I remember interviewing ages ago about Tomb Raider, and he was still working on Galleon. I think it was Galleon.
Yeah.
And he'd been working on it for ages, and it was like another couple of years before it came out, and that was supposed to be, he said, this is, and we saw it at the time, it was groundbreaking, brilliant, but when it came out, it was very disappointing. So is he, I don't know,
I'd buy it.
I would buy
that's
it.
What we can say.
Of course I'd buy it, and it would probably be wonderful, and kind of making it a little bit darker and a bit nastier, because the last couple of games have been a little bit kiddie friendly.
It needs that turn, doesn't it, to really take it down a different avenue. I think like what you get with long running movie franchises, like the way that the Batman movies, for instance, went, where they just became real parodies of themselves in the end. And then
until
the
they reinvented
Bale
themselves
one
again,
had the reinvention, and took it down that dark, gritty route. And I think something like that for a Tomb Raider game would be awesome.
Hey, I've never seen an Alien movie. Am I missing out? I've never seen any of them.
What?
Just,
really?
And this is off topic completely, but am I missing out, or is
it's a bombshell? You've never seen a single Alien film?
No, I've not.
Yeah, you are missing out.
Are they all worth doing? Are they?
You could probably skip 4, I'd say.
Yeah,
4.
definitely do. Certainly the first 2, without a doubt.
Oh, right, nice. Sorry, I just thought I'd.
It's
Is there a
interesting
game
you brought that
playing?
up, actually.
I don't know. Is there?
Well, I got very excited the other day when I found out they've made a remake of Alien Breed. Do you remember Alien Breed for the Amiga?
Yeah, I do remember it.
Old
Yeah, that
Team
was
17
awesome.
game. Yeah, and they're making it they're making it again, basically. And it's going to be the same sort of top-down thing, but slightly isometric looking.
Brilliant.
And new
That was a
updated
fantastic
graphics.
And you have to guide
Brilliant.
like some dudes through a maze, through like a station or something.
Pretty much, yeah, each level of a space station. And it was very, very much inspired by the Alien movies. Well, Aliens.
And you could hear when the
mainly.
monster was kind of near, and you didn't quite know where it was coming. Then suddenly, I believe they're called face
huggers.
These are something completely inappropriate. Then, okay,
it was an
that's cool.
awesome game, so I'm very excited about that.
Right, what else have we got? Anything else exciting? Yes, Tales of Monkey Island PC game. Cool. I was never a fan of Tales of Monkey Island. Guy Brush, what's his name? Guy Brush Threepwood. But my friend Geeky Tom was so excited when he's been foaming at the mouth that this is coming out, and he says apparently it's very faithful reinterpretation of the whole thing. But I don't know if does it still play as a point and click, because
I believe so.
In the 21st century, do we?
But it's 3D now, right? It's
3D,
not 2D point and click.
But do we still need point and clicks nowadays? I just always felt they were a little bit soulless. And
point and clicks rule.
Really, you're a big fan of playing them on your DS as well, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that was that mystery case files thing, which was slightly different. But Monkey Island, I used to be hugely into. I lost hours and nights and months playing Monkey Island. So I've been a bit slack. I haven't got this new one because it just came out a few days ago. But apparently you can get it on the Wii as well. So I guess you do your point and click like that with your.
They've just brought out as well. There's an Indiana Jones game that has come out that apparently is a little bit of a stinker. But with the Wii version, you get an old indie point and click adventure as well. I think I can't remember, and that apparently I can't remember where it originates from, but that apparently is pretty good. But pointing and click, no, I can't be bothered with that nonsense.
I really like them because so much thought goes into them, and you just you get a lot more imagination in terms of storyline and scripting with point and click, because so much of it is reliant on leading you on to the next bit and making you care about what you're doing to keep going through the game. And stuff like Monkey Island was just really, really clever and really
groundbreaking
funny.
for the time, definitely. Don't you know that?
It
was very innovative. Hey, I just had a thought. I've got a spare room at home that's full of consoles, and it's got like a Dragon and a BBC and a Commodore and stuff like that. And for various reasons, I'm clearing some of it out, and I'm sort of going through what I'm having to clear out. And I was writing an article about it today for some magazine. I've got a SNES. I'm going to get rid of the SNES. I'm going to say something that may be deemed as controversial. The SNES is really, really overrated, and a lot of the games are rubbish. Because I'm going off on a tangent. I do apologise. We're recording this at the end of the day, so my brain is a little bit elsewhere. But I've played a few games on it, and there's just nothing. It just doesn't really do anything. It doesn't have the charm of the machines before it, like the Commodore 64 or the Spectrum, and it doesn't have the technological capabilities of the next generation, the PlayStations and things like that. And I just think it's a little bit. I'm going to say it. The SNES is rubbish. It's a really rubbish console. Any thoughts on that?
I'd probably back you up on that. I think it's a little bit one-dimensional. Looking back, I think it was probably really cool at the time.
Yeah.
And probably people whose first gaming experience was on it would be most upset to hear you call it rubbish. But when you look back on the way that consoles developed, it's not got as much nostalgia-wise.
Well, let's put it out to the forum users. I realise this is quite. Even I feel a little bit guilty saying it because I should be treating it with respect as a huge retro fan. But the SNES is rubbish. Discuss, forum kids. How do they get to the forum, Jane?
Please go to tech.uk.msn.com and tell Ian what you think of his opinions, please.
Thanks very much. Speaking of rubbish, they're reissuing loads of Game & Watch games on the DS. You can
DSiWare, you can download
That's the shop,
them.
isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Again, what's the point of that? It's nice to have a couple of Game & Watches because I think they're an historical document of I grew up with them and it's our history and our heritage and all of that kind of stuff as gamers. But they're not fun to play, really. Left, right, left, right. There's not really Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong 2 are probably it. Are they really gonna? I can imagine in Japan these the kids will go mental for it.
I don't think they've confirmed a Western release.
Oh, have they not? Is it just a Japanese?
I mean, it might come over if it does fantastically well over there, and I assume they're dead cheap. So you might just get them for kind of novelty value.
Because you can get Game & Watch emulators for your computer, and it is just exactly the same. That jumping, what do they call it, LCD screens. It doesn't seem.
Because the ones they're bringing out are really old school as well. It's not even Donkey Kong Jr. and things like that. Those are slightly more advanced, but it's stuff like Ball and Vermin.
Ball was like the first one that ever came
juggler,
out.
Yeah,
Ball was rubbish. I mean, brilliant at the time, and I used to love Game & Watch at the time. I remember my friend had the orange Donkey Kong, and at playtime at school, man alive, we battered that around a bit. I think it's like, if you were to show that to a kid now, it's like my granddad showing me a stick and a hoop and going, this is what we had, going, yes, so what? Look at what we've got. Any other bits and pieces that you have spotted in the news?
Well, I like that you brought up beforehand the Michael Jackson game rumours.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to find a legitimate source for, like, at the root of the root.
I got it from the internet.
Rumour.
That's legitimate, isn't it?
Well,
that's a fact
it looks like
already.
It kind of came from a Dutch gaming site, and I'm not sure if they would get the scoop on
right,
that. But
okay.
it kind of makes sense because it looks like it was a game that was being prepared to go out with the tour, with the O2 tour, which, kind of makes sense as maybe a promotional item. And so the rumour says that he had already recorded, the audio for it, which is quite exciting if it's true.
You have to tread so carefully around the excitement that has happened around the whole Jackson thing. I'm gutted. I had tickets for 2 concerts. Oh. Yeah, I'm gutted.
Are you keeping them or are you getting
No,
a refund?
I'm going to get my 300 quid back.
Didn't they say, you could keep them as a souvenir?
That's the company packing themselves because they've suddenly got to refund 800,000 people or however many it is. And so going, these tickets are like 3D, so you can keep them and be a really nice souvenir. We'll have our £75 per ticket back, please. Thank you very much. But he's been in other. He was in. I remember Moonwalker. Moonwalker, coming out, which was based on the film. I really enjoyed Moonwalker, the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Is it Moonwalker? Is that what it's called? It's called, isn't it? I really enjoyed that because it's just kind of really self-indulgent nonsense where he turns into a car at one point, I think, in the movie. So I'm kind of a fan of that. And he was also in Space Channel 5, apparently. But I don't remember him popping up in that.
Not at all. Not at all.
I don't remember. Have you played Space Channel 5?
No.
It's wonderful. And the Dreamcast. It's wonderful. It's worth getting a Dreamcast for. You play Nuala, who's like this sort of sexy, futuristic reporter.
Yes, I'm with you now.
It's one of those, you got to press your buttons in time to the music kind of deals, but with just really brilliant camp, kind of Japanese disco tunes, and it's wonderful. But I don't remember Jackson popping up in it.
No.
Maybe I didn't get far enough in it. Maybe I need another session.
Yeah.
Another thing that's got me excited, Duke Nukem 3D. coming to the iPhone. Come on, I'll have some of that.
They're bringing out worms for the iPhone.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done.
So they've just sorted that out.
There's some great stuff coming out on the iPhone at the moment. Some really good stuff. There's still a lot of them haven't got the controls right. You want some buttons, you know.
Well, that's not going to change, though, is it?
Well, no, they should. All right, calm down.
I'm sorry. No, I'm with you. I think that the problem is when they try and emulate like a handheld game system.
Games where you have to tilt doesn't work.
I don't know. Did you try Rolando? It was really cool.
I didn't like it. I tried Rolando Light, and I wasn't.
Okay, we might have spoken about it already.
I wasn't that keen on it. Another game I wasn't keen on, U2, and I'm glad I didn't spend any money on it. Someone had it on their iPhone, and then this guy went. My friend Paddy went, "You'll like this. This will blow your mind. It's called Peggle."
Oh,
come on!
What a load of old rubbish that was! It sounds like I'm being really negative all this whole show. I do apologise. It was just...
You didn't enjoy it?
So, hang on a minute. You aim where it goes, and then you press a button and then it bounces. One more ball left. Bonus ball. But you got some points. 50,000 points. Bonus, got that.
Maybe the iPhone's not the perfect platform.
How long did you play it for?
I played it. I gave it as what I give any good game.
Did you give it a serious go?
I gave it a serious go. 4 minutes.
And if
I'm not hooked within 4 minutes, I ain't interested.
My initial reaction to Peggle when I first booted it up was, "What the hell is this? And why don't I do more than just shoot a ball? And then have no control over that at all afterwards." And I think that's quite a reasonable first reaction. But then if you play through like 2 or 3 levels, then it suddenly reveals itself to you as a fantastic game. It's hugely addictive once you get going. Honestly, I've had some very late nights when I've had a lot of stuff to do the next day because of Peggle.
I hope your boss isn't listening to this. It's terrible. All right, well, maybe I might give it another. I'm not paying for it. I refuse to pay for it.
It's not much on Xbox Live.
Give me the money. If I like it, I will give you the money back. How's that sound as a deal?
Give me a little time to think that one over. I'm not sure that quite works.
It's not having it. What else have we got?
It was just the other day. Modern Warfare 2 is now officially Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
I think because
they chickened out and they're like, the kids won't recognise it if we don't put Call of Duty in there somewhere.
Foolish to even consider not putting Call of Duty on because it's such a powerful brand.
They thought they were strong enough to strike it on their own because Call of Duty 4 was such a winner.
Yeah.
But everyone called it Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare was kind of, not as recognisable. Mm-hmm. And I saw someone, I think it was on the forum, saying, come Christmas time, when it comes out late in the year, the parents going out will be looking for Call of Duty because they'll be looking for, last year they bought them Call of Duty 5 and they'll be looking for it again and it won't be there because it will just be Modern Warfare 2.
That's probably what it is, isn't it? It's a name change for the parents rather than the kids.
Possibly.
It's for like dizzy grandmas who are going in and buying a game for little Sammy or something.
But I do like how they said it was always the plan.
It was
always the plan.
Summer's we've had quiet months ahead of us. I was in a game shop earlier on and looking eagerly at the board with forthcoming releases, and there's nothing coming out. There's Batman at the end of August.
A lot of sports stuff.
Yeah, there's Virtua Tennis. Another Virtua Tennis coming out. I'm a big fan of the first couple. I think it's all because Virtua Tennis is it's a pick up and play arcade tennis game. There's not really that much you can do with it. They've added Andy, what's his name? Andy Murray, the Scots lad. They've added him, and that seems to be it, really.
Have you tried Grand Slam tennis on the Wii? It's one of the first ones to do the Motion Plus attachment.
I've not used the Motion Plus yet. No, is it okay? With Grand Slam any good?
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's for me it doesn't show off the Motion Plus in a very good light. Because
it's not that responsive?
No, it just doesn't feel all that accurate to what you're doing.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a massive step on from Wii Sports tennis, but it's not really, to be honest.
It looks a little bit jazzier.
Yeah, it looks very nice. It's done a really nice style. It's kind of weird for EA. Normally they go uber realistic, but it's kind of cartoony looking instead. The tennis swing that you do with it, you have to kind of adapt, which is always the problem with these Wii games, in that you want to be able to do it purely naturally, and I think that's why bowling was so good when people first got their Wiis out of the packaging. It was like you did a proper bowling swing and it worked. With this, you have to kind of do a stilted kind of waggle about in the air. And
He's actually acting the waggle about.
So
I haven't touched my Wii for ages.
All right.
I was playing the Harry Potter game, Half-Blood Prince, right? On the Wii.
Right.
We got a review copy and I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'll do the review. It's not bad for the Wii, actually. I mean, I'm not, it's not for me, it's for kids. But if any platform lent itself to a Harry Potter game, it's one where you've got a magic wand, right?
Wand waving and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
there?
then you've got a potions class where you're using the wand as like they're the ingredients. So you're picking it up and pouring it into the cauldron. And that's
the Harry
quite
Potter
sweet,
game's
actually.
famously not brilliant. You always feel like I remember playing the first Harry Potter game.
Oh yeah,
and it just felt like they just put the name on there, and that was
and when
it.
he got hurt, he fainted.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
like, come on, this. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. It's for kids, whatever anyone's. Or they release it with adult covers. They're kids' books and kids' films, but they could have made a decent stab at a game.
The fifth game was pretty good.
The fifth game, I'd given up.
I gave
up by the third. I wasn't going to go any
the
further.
sixth one, I can tell you, is all right actually.
Okay.
For the Wii. Well, last month you asked people to feedback on what they thought of motion control and the future of game control.
So we asked people for the motion controls, Natal, their views on it.
What the future of game control.
Okay, and what have we had so far?
Okay, well, Brooker Boy says, I would much prefer Project Natal if you could use your old Xbox 360 controller, and some of the games look really good, like football and voice recognition for quizzes.
Ever since the early games, it's always been a joystick, or it's been a trackable, or it's been a button, or it's been something physical that you have to. Space War in the 50s, it's always been something physical that you have to press and touch, and I think that's a really important thing about gaming. I think that this whole Minority Report, swishing your hands around, it's a nice gimmick, but I think in 20 years' time we'll still be holding a joystick or a joypad, as opposed to moving our eyes around and all the car turned left.
Yeah, it's a massive change in the way that you would interact with games, and I think that was why it made such a big splash when they showed the demo at E3. It was because what they were showing there was something that hadn't even been talked about, really. It wasn't like, they've been working on this for some time. They suddenly just went, look, we've got this amazing thing, and you can talk to an animated boy, and he knows who you are and all this sort of stuff. So I think people are still getting their heads around that, really, because we are sort of quite attached to the way that we play our games. As you say, we've been doing it the same way for so long.
I'm waiting for them and I'm surprised that no one's done this. For the Xbox, bring out an Atari joystick. Those big black joysticks with a red button that are really, really stiff. Bring that out. Let's have some of that stuff. Yeah. Because for the Wii, they've brought out retro controllers, haven't they, for the stuff that you can download. Bring out a whole range of retro controllers. Have an Xbox controller you can use on a PlayStation and vice versa. That'll be awesome. That will get people swapping over and stuff. I missed the PlayStation. I tell you what I missed the really fat Xbox controllers, the first ones that came out, that were like the size of a brick.
They were huge.
They were mental, weren't they? Yeah. What were they thinking? But I like that. It's something good and solid you can... Anyway, sorry, yes. Back to the forum.
Clarky12 says, for gaming, I want a physical controller. The Wii for me is more of a novelty. And Johnny J says, I agree, I have a Wii, and to be honest, can't be asked waving my hands around for hours playing a game. Muddy Bloke says, as for the new motion sensing thingamajigs, Natal does look impressive, but I think I would want some sort of controller like the wand, so it's probably more accurate. I think someone else said that, actually. They felt that you couldn't make something that was really accurate, that didn't use a physical device, that a camera couldn't be that accurate, but I guess that remains to be seen.
I don't think the fact that you can have 4 people playing at the same time, that will not work. That when people can walk in front of each other and it won't get confused. I chucked away my You're in the Movies.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds like a brilliant fun. What a load of tosh, doesn't work, and they can't even do that, and that's a really simple premise. I think they're overreaching themselves.
Hennas191 said, good, Ian. I agree about having a physical controller and minimum effort. In my opinion, controllers going wireless are about as advanced as they need to be. Which is a good point. That was a blessing, wireless controllers.
Yeah, wireless
don't
controllers.
Don't give enough thanks for. And then he says, baddie, and how can you slate the N64 controller? I was
it's ridiculous.
Impressed with how easy it was to use.
It's shaped like a boomerang and a half boomerang shoved together with some buttons in really weird place. I remember getting it the first time and going, what? How? Which hand do I? Where does this go? And I couldn't do it. It's a nice gimmick, but no, it's look at Pothers. Ian, Infamous is a quality game. It is slightly repetitive, admittedly. Well, okay, so really you've just shot yourself in the foot. That is more than made up for by the freshness of the whole gaming experience. It's just like Crackdown, and the interesting story, not to mention good platforming sessions.
There's another reply to one of your points from David Lowe, Big Gamer Has No Friends, who says... He says Rock Band is compatible with your Guitar Hero band kit.
Yeah.
So that does bring up the question. Rock Band Beatles comes out with all the special Beatles instruments, but you can still play it with your Guitar Hero stuff.
I'm getting the
Do you make the switch?
I'm getting the whole kit.
Yeah.
I moved my
nothing.
Guitar Hero stuff into the spare room today, which means that's the first step towards it being chucked out, basically in preparation for the Beatles moving into my house.
It's already begun.
Yeah, oh man, it's happened. So Left 4 Dead addict. I love Left 4 Dead as much as him, but I don't want Left 4 Dead to come out. Left 4 Dead 2 to come out this year. I don't think I would have got my money's worth of the first game since I've only had it for 3 months.
With my
Xbox being broken for one of those months. Yeah, well, I don't understand this controversy. He says here there's a lot of controversy on forums about it, and the general opinion is that it's too early. I don't understand that. Left 4 Dead is an awesome game. They released a fantastic download edition to it, and now they're bringing out Left 4 Dead. I think it's perfect timing. Left 4 Dead isn't that big a game. I think there's only 4 or 5...
4 campaigns.
The 4 campaigns, aren't there? And, you can keep playing them, but there's only 4 campaigns. I think it's right. And I know a lot of people have said that it should just be download content and... It's a new game. I think it's a fantastic game. It's more of the same with a few additions, different characters, different... Bring it on. I don't understand why everyone's upset by it.
I'm kind of of that feeling. I do actually understand why they're upset, because Valve, it's quite un-Valve-like to bring another game out a year later, having only had one big lot of downloadable content for the first game. Whether this could have been just an expansion pack, I don't think it could, because it's 4 new characters, 5 new campaigns, new enemies, and... I don't know.
Like you say, though, Valve does have a reputation for really supporting its games after they come out.
Okay.
And I think there's a feeling that they haven't really done that with the first Left 4 Dead. They've just done one piece of downloadable content.
But there's the software developers kit, so the community can make their own stuff. They've said that they will continue supporting it in some way, but I don't know how extensive
I think that Left 4
really
Dead
be.
is such a fantastic standalone title. Well done bringing out a sequel. I will be buying it, man. I think it's a great game, and I'll get Left 4 Dead 2 as well, and we'll have a wonderful time doing that. And if you don't want to buy it, then
I think I'd rather have
tough.
another short game like Left 4 Dead from Valve than an enormous game from a
Yeah, exactly.
poor
No, well
quality
done.
from
It's
somewhere else.
pick up and playable, and that's all good stuff. There is a lot of argument going on about which is going to be best, Project Natal or the PS3 motion sensor, and Herr Sandwich is saying that in the end my vote goes to the PS3 controller for the 1-1 motion sensing. The Xbox demo didn't mention about lag or absolute accuracy once, and the water effect in Milo seemed a little slow. I noticed she made rather large movements, and they were very slow when she made a couple of faster movements. It's one of those things, we're going to have to wait and see.
It's a bit harsh, the water thing, but I did think the PS3 thing did look very cool. The demo of the PS3 motion sense.
Yeah, but the argument would be, well, you're still holding something there. It's not. It's not just it's not the whole minority.
But as we've
report.
established, we don't really mind.
No,
Listen,
I'm all for having something in my hand. While
maybe
I'm
a suit,
playing.
like a motion capture suit that you have to put on.
Yeah,
like they use for animation in
or you can
motion
have it
capture
built
for
into
games.
your hands or something, like sort of implanted into your bones.
I was so disappointed when
There
those
we go.
virtual reality helmets didn't catch on. Do you remember those? And you could buy them for like 12 grand or something. And in the Trocadero, they used to have. They used to be able to go and play virtual reality where there'd be like 4 people with these things on, waving a controller that was your gun, and you could supposedly shoot each other. But I remember playing it and sort of coming away and saying to my friends, wow, that was amazing. But whilst playing it, not having a clue what was going on, and not being turning your head, and it just didn't quite work. But maybe there's still some mileage in virtual reality.
I only ever worked in the Lawnmower Man. That was it.
The Lawnmower Man. What's his name? Jeff Fahey? Is it Jeff Fahey?
Yeah, that's
who's now the pilot in Lost. We all get very excited.
Right?
Yeah, he looks really cool now. He's got like sort of white hair and a straggly beard, and he looks brilliant. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. He's very cool.
So the other thing I was playing of late is actually I went back and someone lent me a copy of Civilization Revolution.
Old school, well done.
Well, yeah, so the console strategy game, and I completely missed it the first time around. But it's such a quiet couple of months, apart from the sports games and what have you, that I kind of went back, picked up a few achievement points, and I thought, I can't be the only one. There must be lots of people going back and kind of like scouring through their games libraries, because there's not that much on the horizon, on the immediate horizon. So we thought we could ask people what they've been playing as
we got a message on the forum, and apologies for not knowing who it was, saying, you're always telling us what you've been playing, why don't you ask us? So okay, what have you been playing? this month, dear
Yes.
listener. And we will scratch our input into that section, and you can tell us what you've been playing. But yeah, also, if you've been digging out old games as well, what have you dug out? We've got a lot of homework for you, so please get on the forum. SNES, overrated or what? And next month, it's PlayStation. So what would you like us to talk about on that?
On the PlayStation,
front?
yes.
Basically, we're getting you to do all our work for us, because
Please.
it's summer, and we're going to be out, like, sunbathing and stuff, so... Thanks. Terribly lazy on our part. I do apologise. Just tell them one more time. They know how to get there, but just so they know how to get
All
to
right,
the
one more
forum.
time. Go to tech.uk.msn.com and tell us all of that stuff.
Answer all those
Do
questions.
your homework.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on the iTunes, and we will speak to you next month.
Bye.
Gamecast from MSN.